Yeah, you thought that was just a photo. Look at that. Getting eaten up by the no-see-ums last night. They went for one place right there. Anyway, and that's my hat line. They kind of crawled up and went at it. Anyway, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland. Here we are out and about on Sunday, and it's a fun day when we can talk to Jesus. But in reality, you're supposed to talk to Jesus all the friggin' time, you know? So let's start off with a prayer. Praise God, praise Jesus, and bless the other. Who is the other? What is that other? The other is that brother, sister from another mother of the crosshairs of unknown cultures. Ooh, those Muslims. Ooh, those Jews. Ooh, those whoever. Basically, Christians, Jews, and Muslims are of the Abrahamic tradition. They're all brothers and sisters. In actuality, Muslims are Christians on steroids. Well, they think that what's his name, Muhammad was God. No, sorry, no, he's just a prophet. Kind of like Billy. Well, not quite, but anyway, Billy had a much better suit, and I know because I knew Billy Graham. He and I were kind of like that. Same with Jerry. You know, Jerry, just the same. We were tied, right? Not in the biblical sense per se, but anyway, one of my little shows got stuck for sexual content. And you know what it was? The other day when I showed you how skinny I was, that was the thing they thought was sexual content. Ooh, baby. What they don't know is going to hurt them. Let's see. Welcome to chat. Hey, chatty kids. Welcome to the cadre. Remember, put it in capitals. I can't read it. So, the last couple of shows, we've had great shows, great comments, but put it in capitals. Good morning, good evening, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensie Owl Bob. That's me. Here we are, 2 minutes and 45 seconds into the show, and I'm hanging on somebody's Wi-Fi, and free Wi-Fi. And again, so what's the prayer? Praise God, praise Jesus, and bless the other. So the other is that person that where there's 8 point something billion people in the world, and about 7.3 of them are all in a war zone getting blown up. Like Sierra Leone. And we don't hear much about it, but they have 82 million people on the run, just kind of like the kids in the Gaza Strip. So the kids in Sierra Leone are experiencing the same thing the kids in the others are in the Gaza Strip. But instead of having just one army going after them, they got two. So, and a good deal of those folks are Christians. So where are the Christian folks going on about end of times? Sierra Leone sounds like a cutout here to us home. Grand location in where? In Brasilia. Oh, fala, 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 fala português. Pouco. See, I lived in Buzios for about a year and change. And I went to the capital cities and I had a lot of fun. And I built a big disco in Buzios, which is the hangout of the Nazis in Brazil. They have a big hospital that will change your persona, not just, plastic surgery, but genetically. They put you in this little easy bake oven and you come out a totally different character, right? They change everything. And that was like in the 80s, right? I don't know what it is now, but it was a fun place. Had a nice beach, had a strip that had a lot of nice restaurants and touristy stuff, and hotels were the Euro trash. So what else are we saying here? Your breath stinks. Well, you're pretty good. If you can catch that, like through the phone, that's pretty amazing. Come on, guys, put it in. I'm not reading anything that isn't in all caps, right? Because I can't. I mean, I just, I have to stare at it a long time, and then I see something stupid like your breath stinks. Come on, whoever, Astroland or something. This world is going to what? Put it in caps. To end so badly. No, no. The world ain't going to end badly. I mean, look, asteroid hit it, and within 20 minutes, everything was dead, like in a microwave oven, and then it got even worse. God is always telling me things can get worse. Don't whine about what you got, kid. Be thankful. And I am thankful for everything I have. Everything I've gone through. When people I've written a bunch about everything. When people see my stories or hear my stories, and again, you guys need to go back all the way back 7 years to the first show I did. And the first show I did was I was standing in front of the cell phone place where I bought the cell phone, and the guy had put my YouTube channel on and my email. You want to get a hold of me? My email is thedudeawake42@gmail. So anyway, that's the first one. That me going, how do you work this thing, right? And then I went from there. A lot of you have found me through going through Johnny Boy's channel. I'm there. I was the only thing that got him any bandwidth, and we were really good. We were like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. And the thing about it is that we kind of tag teamed between the two. Sometimes, mostly I was Dean Martin, but sometimes I was Jerry Lewis. Hey, lady! Anyway, let us pray. Praise God, praise Jesus, bless the other. The other, brother, sister, born of another mother, in the crosshairs of another culture, the collateral damage of original sin corporate ego. I mean, that's what broke us out of the Garden of Eden, because we are in the Garden of Eden. If you look at any of the planets, you look at all the other solar systems, this is a very special little place, and we are way out of the main drag. We are not, right in the midst of everybody. We are way off the cul-de-sac, and so that is the choice you get to make. Where are you going? And it's always a choice. That's why we have free will, because you are the decider. That's what you're supposed to be doing, deciding, moment to moment. You're supposed to be praying, talking to God, not like, so our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. It's not prayer. Our Father, who's the Father, creator of all. It says saying, our Father, creator of all there is. Our Father, who art in heaven. Heaven, what's heaven? It's every place but here. Creator of all there is, being in all places at once, especially not here. Our Father who art in heaven, hallow. Now, what is that word, hallow? It's a Greek word, right? Hallow, right? Hallowed be thy name, meaning most holy. You mean so holy you don't say God's name, right? So God is irrelevant. That's, today we were talking in Bible studies, and I said, God is everywhere. God is all people's God. Well, those Muslims, no, they don't believe in our God. I said, it's the same God. Allah is our God. Ooh, that didn't go over well with the folk. You know? The Hebrew understanding of the law is our God. They were like, yeah, but they always get in such trouble. They think they're the chosen one. Blah 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 blah. I said, and we don't. I mean, look at all the wars we start. What wars do we start? I said, well, we went from Christopher Columbus to 1947. We were the War Department, meaning we were always at war. Then, just as a little sleight of hand, we decided in 47 with the National Security Act, when we really went deep with COG and X whatever, and everything X is like, ooh. So that's why Douche Boy is everything X. Ooh. He's got something stinky in his britches. Anyway, I wonder if YouTube would consider this sexual like I actually thought my bare chest. I mean, I see tons of guys, hey, if you do what I do with salted water, you'll look like this. I was just saying, look, if you pray to Jesus, you'll look like this. Like today, everyone, this one guy who's teaching the class, oh, my leg, I can't even stand. I said, well, why don't you pray? He said, always pray, always pray. One of the things that is healing my leg is, yes, these stem cell patches are doing a great job, but I talk to God all the time. And I'm saying, help me out here, God. I don't have a clue. I'm handing the wheel to you. You drive the car. Make my body the best it can be so I can serve you in agape love. You know what agape love is? Agape love is when the guy jumps on the hand grenade to save his platoon. That's agape love, right? So I'm of an age, I've pretty much always been there. But right now I'm pretty much, okay, I've died 7 times already. And about 5 of them were like, yeah, baby, you're dead. But I wasn't. So I got another, God said, you got another 2. So enjoy life. Be the real guy you are. Anyway. So anyway, ooh. Ooh-wee. What can I say? But what do you guys think? Gotta put it in caps. I can't read it unless it's in you. Gay. Gay is so sweet, so fun. Life is gay. Oh, look at those colors. Come on, guys. Sex is procreation. Gender is, a gradating scale. To put any kind of judgment on any of it, ooh, that's a big sin. That's the sin of omission, kids. Well, Sensie Owl Bob, what is the sin of omission? Sin of omission is when you can't be forgiven. We're going to the lake of fire. And that's wrong. You can always be forgiven. Look at on the cross. Jesus is up there, and he's going having a good or bad day, depending on how you look at it. It wasn't the most comfortable day. Let's say that. And he's up there, and one of the criminals up there, they say you're God. Well, if you're God, get us on this cross. I don't believe in you. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. That's a sin of omission. The other guy, who's probably worse than that guy, said, Jesus, please forgive me. I've done so many bad things. I want to be forgiven. I feel, what sins I've committed can't be healed, but you can forgive them. And Jesus said, yep, nobody, no problem, buddy. I got you covered. You, on the other hand, and then he says, just before he leaves the building, he goes, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And that is so true, right? I can make fun of people, but that's not casting them down. I make fun of myself all the time. Making fun, as long as it's not at the extent, making someone feel bad, right? So I don't talk, I don't make fun of anyone specifically, right? Give you a name, address, phone number, email, none of that, right? Generally, there's, humans are like Mr. Potato Head. There's 5 kind of noses, eyes, ears, mouths, right? And that's kind of how it works. And so Come on, let's have some interesting conversation. Okay, here's somebody puts it in caps. Thank you. What age do you start taking Viagra? I don't take Viagra because it's not about wood. It's about intimacy, how you treat the other person. Meaning, I can get anyone happy by just massaging their feet. Okay, that's too small. Can't read that. Can't read that. Santa Claus on crack. Nah, this ain't crack. Nah. That's crack. And Santa is love. I mean, he rides around the world in an open sled, getting his nuts frozen up to bring little kids gift. You know, and I'm not Santa. I'm Santa's younger brother. Look, I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. You know, I take care of the naughty and nice list, and I know who you are. I know who you are. I know you. The nun I sees you. The nun I sees you. I see you. I see you. I see you. The nun I sees you. It sees you. It's gonna get you. No. Let's see. Have you seen the latest UFO video? Well, the one I'm interested in is you go on Michio Kaku. Michio is a good buddy of mine from back in the day, and from the 80s, right? And I was in all these esoteric scientific communities. And I was involved in the Stop Shorm campaign. And I went and got a hold of him and said, hey, you got to get involved with this, you know. And he did. He did a great job. He got the boys from Brookhaven to you know, get involved and give the notoriety that was needed. So there is a ship. I mean, it was last 5 years. There was this one thing called whatever Neba, you know, Larry, and and that just kind of shot through, and it came in, and it didn't come from the Oort cloud or anything from our solar system. It came from somewhere else, right? And so that came into our solar system and left. No big deal. Then another one did the same thing like a year ago, and both of these things could be excused as an asteroid, a comet or whatever, right? But not really. But they could be excused. But this one's happening now. It's about the size of Manhattan, and it's going faster than something in space would travel. It's like going. So the spaceships that we sent out of our solar system in the 70s. Viagra, no. Vengeance, no. It starts with a V. Anyway, and it's been going out there and staying alive, and we keep getting postcards from these two spaceships that way are past our solar system, past our even effect on it's called stellar space, and I don't know, 6 months, a year ago, it went across this border into a place that we don't know anything about, and basically, it went blah, 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 and then it started sending measurements back, but the measurements were like, huh, this ain't normal. And then all of a sudden, click, it was no longer heard from, right? But there was this big blast of data that came before that, and it was like blah, 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 and so because we have AI, they fed it into AI, and AI took it apart and said, oh, look, take a look at this, and it was messages. Okay, humans, far enough. Don't go past this line. And this is exactly what happened in Star Trek: The Next Generation, the first episode. Whoopi at Firepoint, right, where they meet Q, and Q throws humans like 8 trillion light years away from that point into the unknown space, where they bump into the Borg. So anyway, um, that's kind of like where we are right now. We have, you know, the orange turd, the game show host, guide rails and the right. That's what he's doing because everything he's doing is showing that our Constitution was a joke. Bill of Rights doesn't exist, and it's just he can, and the executive always could do whatever the frack they wanted, and they always have. They've just garnished it by this illusion of democracy by having a vote between Republicans and Democrats, and they're basically two wings of the same corporate bird. So back to the UFO thing. Solar system coming really fast, really, 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 really fast, and it's kind of heading straight for us, right? And it's making changes in its path. It's not just going like you throw a rock and it has a trajectory. This thing is kind of doing stuff, and it's like uh-oh. So not many. It's not hitting your Fox News, right? And because we are all stuck on what the orange turd is doing in the game show host, and all the rest of the chuckleheads. Like here's a good one. Why would the drunk who had no experience in the military whatsoever, the only thing he's known for is to being an alcoholic on TV on Fox News, why make him the secretary of then known as defense, but now he's turned it into a manly thing called the secretary of war, and he can't even do one pull-up, and he is bringing all of the generals, all of the admirals, the highest, like it's about 800, the people who run our military, control it, and they're not just in D.C., they're all over the world in all these hot spots, right? So let's say, like the general that came from the, area of Asia where China is, where Taiwan is, where Korea is, where Philippines, where a lot of stuff is like potentially could just crack off at any minute. They take all of the leadership out of there. So something happens. Yes, we got, like, I don't know, 200,000 people, sprinkled all over that place in all kinds of bases, but there's no one to give the order, no one to tell them what to do. You know, you just would have to put, a satellite high Earth orbit over North America and detonate an EMP device, not even a weapon, an EMP device that would fry every integrated circuit, on that side of the Earth. So no cars would start, no planes would start, no radio, no internet, no electricity, no refrigeration, no pumping of potable water, no, processing the septic. You know, within a week, people would start to die of starving to death, committing suicide, starting shooting their neighbors. Yeah, it'd be good. Loads of fun. And then the guys who did this, who are on the other side of the planet, who didn't experience an EMP, could do whatever the heck they wanted because all those generals are now, and if you take all of your leadership and put it in one place, that's why they have them sprinkled all over the place. So they can't decapitate, our military control, our leadership. But the drunk brought them all together. Monday, they're going to have this big meeting. So that'll be interesting. Let's see what happens on Monday. Tomorrow, they're all supposed to show up. And from my, looking at the smoke signals, this is just supposed to be a media thing to show his prowess as the top dog, and he's going to tell all those fat generals that they're going to have to lose weight and do exercise and at least place in the 8th grade federal, gym class that they have passed. Forget about kids learning their ABCs. They had to be able to run around, the playground 3 times. So yeah, isn't America getting great again? I love me my Donald Trump. I love my Donald Trump. I love my Donald Trump. I love my Donald Trump. He's bringing back the good old days. I love my Donald Trump. Okay, so have fun with that, kids. Yeah, I love my Donald Trump. There he is, Big Daddy, walking this way. Anyway, what else you got to say? Yes, guys, please, if you're going to write something interesting, put it in all caps so I can read it. Let's see, where am I? I do have my glasses. Here we go. Does it make any difference? Let's stop being useful. I hope you're happy life. Your channel. Blah 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 blah. Favorite. Remember, failure is a bruise, not a tattoo. Ooh, I like this. Someone sent me this. Listen to this. Remember, failure is a bruise, not a tattoo. You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids, they can say some interesting things here.
And a car is run by horsepower and not.
You got your keys?
Um,
Because they were right there.
yeah, but my green suit. Is my green suit?
It's underneath all this crap. Down there somewhere.
May not be.
Look a little more seriously. I'm holding back the Red Sea here. There it is. See, I told you. There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
There it is. Continuity, baby. Here, I'll get you.
I've got to look at the car.
You don't want to get run over. I would be sorely disappointed to miss my Big Daddy. I'll cut it out. I really can't rule in my eyebrows. They don't obey. I try to cut them off. They grow back even weirder. I mean, this is one of the reasons women still are attracted to me. You know, if you guys could have eyebrows like this, you would have them. Your house looks very messy, unorganized. Yep, that's right, buddy. I make 750,000 bi-weekly. Good luck with that. You know, the rich man asked Jesus, "How do I get to heaven?" And Jesus said, "Give all of your wealth to the poor." So if you're making 750,000 bi-weekly, you should give some of that, like all of it, to the poor. And there used to be a great TV show in the 50s called The Millionaire, where this lawyer would go around with a, cashier's check and give it to people, right? See how it changed their life. You should do that, right? So, Karen, if you really want to make a big difference, you should get a hold of me at the dudeawake42 at Gmail and come and visit and bring some of that 750,000. Just that one bi-weekly thing would buy me at least a car, And we could do a, Karen, when you enjoy it's check out, the deep green and everything that's the metaphor of my neighborhood. And then we go through America and talk to people and start a new, YouTube show called Karen and Owl Bob. Where are you from? Well, some people say I'm from Alpha Centauri, but take one of these balls. Hey, homeboy. You got a rock? Okay, he's got a rock. See, I use these balls as massage tools, right? You kind of lay them. It's really, really the bomb. But what's cured my leg more than anything is my prayer. Maybe 50 times a day, I say, God, don't have a clue here. Help me out. Here's the wheel of my life. You drive the car. Pretty much. My car died, so I can't go anywhere unless my chauffeur drives me. And basically, it has simplified my life tremendously. So it puts me on my front lawn under a tree of shade, and I, prayer. And I don't have a car, so I have to walk 1.5 miles up this hill, this Forest Service road, logging road, to get to my friends, my house, right? I kind of cut through. If I drove, it would be longer, but walking up this logging road. But, you know, a month ago, I couldn't even get out of bed. The pain was so intense. Now the pain's not there. Now the leg ain't what you would call totally healed, um, but my range of motion is 50% more than it was. I can walk a mile and a half up a rocky road and then down, which is even more a challenge. Um, that's kind of miraculous, right? And when I told people, because a couple of weeks ago I said, hey, I'm going to have my hip replaced and I need a ride to the hospital. Oh, I can't do it. I had my fingernails done at the time. I mean, got that. And oh no, I can't do it. I'm going to watch a football game. So. But when they come to me and say, Al, my lights don't work, I say, drive me over, let's see what's wrong. And I take care of it, and they say, oh, gee, thanks, what's it cost? And I say, oh, don't worry about it, just drive me home. Maybe, we'll start, you give me a cheeseburger. Oh, I couldn't do that. You haven't found any good evidence in belief in, see, you're not supposed to believe because belief is a artificial dynamic. You have to have faith. And what is faith? Faith isn't something that you can manifest. Faith is something that is instilled into you. So, you want to have evidence of God. Evidence of God is if you were to talk to God. That's all you have to do, talk. Praying is an edifice, right? You know. So homeboy, when are you going to Florida?
I fly out today at 5.
Oh, you're flying.
Yeah.
You don't drive.
No.
Oh.
It's cheaper to fly.
Cheaper to you're right there.
It really is.
Where do you go out of?
Tri-Cities.
And that goes straight to Florida?
Yeah.
They have a flight from
Sanford.
Oh, okay.
But Sanford is close to where my wife is staying.
Oh, so it's from there to there.
Yeah.
One airplane.
Yeah, hour and a half.
Praise Jesus.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Be safe.
Okay. Thanks.
Find me a car.
Thanks.
Hey, buddy, did you get those glasses from Joe Biden?
I wouldn't take nothing from that man.
Praise Jesus. You look marvelous, sister. Yes, you. Cutie. Right there. Right there is good evidence of God. Right there. Right? So you have to be, first of all, you have to start putting this stuff into capitals, right? So I haven't found any good evidence to justify belief in any God. Okay, so. Oh, yes. Okay, I have to get the balls. Here's ball one. There's ball one. Ball two.
Boys, come here.
Hey, come here, boys. And ball three.
Now this is yours.
I can't find the other one. Let them have it.
You always got our dodgeball? That's the real dodgeball. That way you can't hurt one.
Right.
Tell them thank you.
But you can throw it real hard.
Boys. I'll have to get yours later. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Daryl.
You having a good day?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Where were you?
When?
Just now with service.
They enjoy it. We enjoy
I was sitting here. I basically go to Bible study.
Yeah? You don't like service much?
I'm a Catholic. I kind of shy away from those things,
Gotcha.
Not because of the Catholic religion, just because of the service motif, meaning I love talking to God.
I got you.
But, and if you guys, if you could sing a little better, like really, I would, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I got you.
Anyway, Moonshine. Broken smell money. Yep. Oh, I'm high. Oh, well, high are you? Like high, like hello, or high? I'm like, doing meth, or I'm high. Praise Jesus. Which high are you? And then this message is held in review. I don't even touch those anymore. Uh, Camo, chump, clump, trump, the world's a clown. That's right. You're getting it. You're getting the picture. Go watch some of those. See, Ghost. I can't. Some. It starts with an S. Some. 1925. That was a good year. Ooh, Land Rover. Nothing like driving a $200,000 piece of crap. I mean, I had a Land Rover in Australia and Ireland too, but they used to call them combis because they weren't the Land Rover most people know. They were kind of like the VW vans, but they were Land Rovers, combis, and they were kind of fun. You know, you could stuff as many people in there as you could stuff in there. Let's see. I'm a Christian. Don't shame me with that. Let's see. World's a clown. Jeff, if you're a Christian, you can't be shamed. Jesus, God is unconditional love, and Jesus is unconditional forgiveness. That's it. That's it. All this, the liturgy stuff is just advertisement, right? For the Pharisees, it's part of their business plan. But, love's co-creation. That's God, Jesus Christ is forgiveness. He's the living presence that's supposed to be a good example, right? Jesus is love, right?
Yep.
And forgiveness. So I just sit in the car and talk to people as they walk by because I can see them drooling because they want to go to supper. Christian, shame me with that. This matches is helpful review. Okay. Let's see. The world should worry about the world and leave us alone. Who is us? We are all the we and me. There is no us and them. There is no other. Oh, those stinky other people. Oh, we don't want them. Sorry. Because if you think that way, you're going to end up as one of those stinky other people in a camp. Do. Would you consider eating, Wu-Tang forever? Yeah, I would go for that. In a musical sense. I just watched. God bless you all, guys.
You too.
Thank you.
Well, Bella used to be my mama dog, and she was the most beautiful girl in my heart. So, there you go. So you got Sunday dinner cooking?
No.
Well, it's not raining. I'm not wearing my bin bag. Hey there, bud.
Hey, Al.
How's life treating you? You're looking good.
Yeah, boy, you are too. When you get your leg worked on.
Well, you know what happened? You're going to love this.
What?
I'm supposed to get it operated on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
And the guys who do it are the best of the best because they gave 2 weeks before it, they gave a class on everything, how to prepare, what to eat, da 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 da. Well, I don't have any of that. So they said, oh, we'll figure it out. And they were figuring it out. But 2 weeks ago, I've been talking to Jesus, for a year about this leg, and my leg is healed. All good, no pain. I mean, at 50% more range of motion. So I'm going to see the doctor. He is really interested. He's going to x-ray me, do everything. And he said, this is kind of amazing. We're going to figure this out because he said, the x-rays he took in December were like, oh, you need a new And that operation is not a walk in the park. You know, people go, oh, I had it, and then I was playing football the next day. It's not that. Anyway,
Where it go, Al?
so that's a miracle for you.
See ya.
Yeah, yep. Good Christian. You know, that's some good news. And, you know, he was just champing at the bit to get out of here. You know, he wanted me to tell him how bad things were. And I told him, man, I just experienced a miracle, you know? Nothing I can say that would hurt you besides the fact that you are indeed. I'm black. Didn't you know that? I am an African American that's melanin challenged. Didn't you understand? I am, and so are we all, kids. We all came from that neck of the woods. We're all African Americans, and then over the years we got more and more sensitive to the sun as we got up north. You know, we had to have a vehicle to absorb more and more. Ooh, isn't that nice? A 4-wheel crash right in front of me. 4-car pileup. You know, everyone's coming out and they're just so desperate to get off to the restaurant to have that meal, that Sunday supper, right? And everyone walking out, you know, the big crowd, no one has this, well, not no one, a few people have a smile. But the rest of them are like, so, you know. Do you like, oh, here's somebody who, sir, did you Luther shoot Charlie Kirk? Did Martin Luther shoot? Well, that's an interesting question. Does anyone have any insight on what our friend right here, Martin Luther King Sr., white Martin Luther Sr., did Martin Luther shoot Charlie Kirk? It's the kid who they got definitely didn't shoot, right? And because he had a 30-06. Any of you guys hunters, do you know what a 30-06 bullet would have done to Charlie's head? It would have blown it to bits. Not just a little hole here, right? No, that was done by an assassin that had I don't know what you would call it, a modified weapon. So that's and that's just me as a chucklehead observing stuff out in the middle of the woods that has no TV, no internet, no radio, no nothing, no access to any of the, the garbage bins of media, so. And don't believe a word I say. Good morning, good evening, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensie Owl Bob. Let us have a prayer. Praise God, praise Jesus. And bless the others. That 7.8 billion people on this earth that are starving to death. They're in war zones. They're watching their children get destroyed, blown up. You know, those poor people that we don't even think about. We don't even care because their death is like enables us to have cheap underwear and our iPhones and et cetera, et cetera. Shave around the mouth. Why? I have no device to do that. And, I only get cleaned up when I have a girlfriend, and then she does it, because she likes, whatever girlfriend I have, this is like tickles the hoo-hoo. But if they make it a nice brush, then it's like, and that's like exciting. Are we going anywhere? Or are we, what's next?
Well, gotta get Sue home.
Oh, yes, we go get Sue. Okay.
And they gotta have the van at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
They're going to Mountain City.
Who's they?
The youth, Tyler's speaking.
So whatever happened to the big bus?
I don't know.
And we don't talk about that.
We don't listening out there,
we don't talk about that. So Cody walked by, and I told him about the miracle of my leg, and he wanted to hear me whine about how terrible it is. And when I told him that Jesus healed my leg, he was like, I gotta go. Gotta go. There she is, Miss America. You look good there, honey bun. You were getting your vitamin D. That's one of the three witches. So remember, put things in capitals. Make comments after the show. Watch my past shows and make comments. Get a hold of me at the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. Right? There she is.
Hey,
Marilyn Monroe of the Hollers. Yep.
Have a good afternoon.
So, what's shaking, girlfriend?
not much.
How was the service?
Oh, I thought it was wonderful.
Oh, what was wonderful?
Preacher talking about baptism.
And what did he say?
Huh?
What did he say?
Where were you at?
I was sitting over there
Why was you sitting over there?
because I go to the Bible studies for fellowship, and to go to a service, you know, I'm very respectful of it. So if I can't be 100%, I basically don't besmirch it. Anyway, gotta go, kids. Bye.